Hi again, everybody. Uh, if you're watching this video first, I suggest that you go and watch the other two first so that you won't be so lost. Where we last left off, John had received a series of phone calls from his ex-wife. So, let's see what was going on with that. Joanna bathed in the Taiwan sunset, looking out over the flat brown beach at the ocean. She smiled at the simple beauty of it all. Her husband, Alan, came to his seat next to her and handed her off a pina colada with a wink. "Now all we need is to be caught in the rain, am I right?" he said, drawing a chuckle from her. "Well, aren't we a regular Chavantes tonight?" "What's the occasion?" she replied, taking a sip from the glass. "Oh, so now I need an excuse to spoil you. That's cold, even for you." She gave him a gentle kick. "Hey, you be sweet." He smiled, leaned in and kissed her. She kissed him again. She smiled and kissed him again, falling into his chest. They lay there, watching the sun do its final hurrah before it disappeared beneath the waves. Joanna had almost fallen asleep when Alan gave her a soft nudge. "We should get back to our room, maybe get some dinner." She stirred herself to her feet and held a hand out. "Well then, let's go, Romeo." They were staying at the third floor of the Ocean's Breeze, a middle-class hotel, modest, sure, with a nice view of the ocean. Joanna ate a salad on the balcony, looking at the city lights come to life. "Hey, babe." He still calls me babe, she thinks with a bashful smile. "Yeah, hun," she says. "How long since you checked your phone?" Vicky called a few times. She thought about it. When did she have it last? This morning? Even earlier? She got up and took it from him. "Thanks, Al. I'll check it out." With a few flicks, the phone rang, and Victoria answered. "Hey, Mom." Joanna could hear the depression layering her voice. Mothers can tell these things. "What's up, sweetheart?" There was a rustle on the other end. "I'm sorry, I know you're on vacation with Alan and all, and it can wait." "No, honey, it's okay," she said. Alan gave her a worried look and mouthed, "She okay?" Joanna held up a finger to him. It's just Dad," Victoria said. She could feel her gut tighten in nervous anger and tried to quell it. "What did he do this time?" she asked, not trying to mask her irritation. "It's just, why does he try to push us away like he does? I've tried giving him space, but I feel like he'll just forget about us soon." Tears were streaming down her cheeks. Joanna didn't need to be there to know it. She closed her eyes. "Your father loves you, Victoria. He just doesn't know how to show it. He's like a man looking through two-way glass, seeing the whole world but never letting anyone in." But, but why, Mom? What did I do? What did Mark do?" "Now stop that, Victoria. You and Mark never did a thing to that man. He's just so caught up in himself. It's nobody's fault." Victoria gave a sniffle. "We were supposed to come visit this weekend. Mark's been so excited and I just don't know how to tell him." "That his grandfather's a prick?" Alan gave a nervous cough from across the room. "Mom, please, I'm trying to be fair here." Nothing's fair when it comes to him and his damn ego. When he's writing, it's like everything else doesn't matter. He's cold, Victoria, no matter how hard you try to warm him. There was a silence that echoed her words throughout the room. Joanna eyed Alan, looking at her sternly. She knew what he was going to say, and part of her resented him for his kindness. "Victoria?" "Yeah," she answered in a mouse whisper. "I'll give him a call and try to talk to him." "Mom, you don't have to do that. I know you hate talking to him." "I do. But like it or not, we're both your parents, and we both love you. Sometimes someone has to rip the shades off that man's face for him to see it." "Thank you. That means the world to us." She looked at Alan's placid expression. "I know it does, baby girl. It's probably the only thing that can make me talk to that ass." They laughed at that, knowing the truth is sometimes best laughed off. For a little while, they made idle chit-chat. Alan read over a book as they did, trying not to chuckle at the tee-hees that resounded throughout the room. The sky was a deep black, starless, when Joanna said her "I love yous" and goodbyes, and flopped onto the bed. Alan looked up from his book. "Gonna wait till tomorrow?" "Oh no, fuck curfew on this one, Tex. I'll call as soon as I'm not so damn mad at him." He slid an arm over her stomach. "Honey, whole galaxies have lived and died in that time." She felt his hand slide up her body past her breasts and pulled her chin towards him. They kissed like lovers do. When he pulled away, her heart fluttered. "How do you do that to me?" she said, breathing deep. "Easy. It's called love." He stood up, taking off his shirt when he noticed her biting her lip at him and looking at him with a fiery expression. He gave a laugh. "Calm down, killer. I'm just jumping in the shower." She got up, moving between the bathroom and Alan. "Babe," he said with a cocked eyebrow. She heard him say it, and it didn't matter to her. She traced the lines of his chest with her fingers. It was almost perfect, save for a fat, round scar above his right nipple. He grasped her hands in his own. "Call him, Joanna. You need to." Her arms went limp. "You're right." She looked up at him with playful eyes. "Why can't you be like every other man and hate my exes while accepting my gracious distraction sex?" He kissed her. "Because you didn't want just another guy. Call him." He went past her into the bathroom, leaving her holding the phone loosely in her hands. She took a deep breath and dialed John's number. At first, she thought it was the wrong number because all she got was an automated voice telling her the phone she had dialed had either been changed or disconnected. With a sigh, she gave it another go, but to no avail. "What the hell?" she said, looking over the screen, not really that upset. She was about to give up and try again tomorrow when she remembered John's work phone. Her thumb hovered over the touchpad as she thought it over, then mashed the number in. It rang till she got the message tone. No surprise, she thought. At first, her plan was to simply hang up. It would be good enough to just know that she called. But something in her heart screamed out at her. "John," she began, not knowing what she would say. "I know things between us. Listen, it's not Victoria or Mark's fault what happened. I mean, that was me and you. If you want to hate anyone, John, hate me. I know you're busy with your book, but I also know you're more than capable of finishing it on time. You always have, because that's who you are. Writer's right. But right now, you also need to be a grandfather to a little boy who doesn't even know your face. Please, John." If more words were coming, she wouldn't let him hear them. She hung up and set the phone at her side. The shower pitter-pattered in the background, soothing her. Within a few minutes, she dozed off. Alan was careful not to wake her as he slid into the bed beside her. When they woke up the next morning, Joanna had noticed she had missed a few calls. Alan watched with mute interest as she called the number. When she collapsed onto the ground, crying furiously, he went to her side, cradling her. "Baby, what's going on?" All he could hear was muffled noises through the hysterics. He pulled her away to look into her eyes. "Joanna, talk to me." Her face was sheet white, eyes wide with horrific disbelief. "It's Victoria," she said. "She's dead." And that'll be all for right now. And I'll be sure to be putting up some more soon. I hope you guys have a good morning. Thank you for listening.